Good evening once again. My name is Eric Laquerre from Montreal, Canada. It's my pleasure to welcome you to this evening's call on Isagenix, what the Isagenix solutions are, what it does. Some of you have been on a call last night explaining sort of the problems that we're having today in today's world, in today's society with food and all those nasty things that are that we're consuming. And tonight, I have the pleasure to introduce you to an amazing system that I've discovered. My background, I've been 15 years in tennis as a tennis professional, tennis coach, and 8 years as a fitness trainer. And performance and health and energy and weight loss has always been on the top of my mind for me and my clients. And I was blessed to discover what Isagenix has to offer. So let's just dive in. Imagine for a moment how your day started. You probably woke up this morning and at some point looked at yourself in the mirror. And let me ask you this question. When you looked in the mirror this morning, what did you see? And more important than what did you see, what did you think? And what did you feel about what you saw? Maybe you were one of those people who are, this morning they woke up, they looked in the mirror and they were like, yeah, I feel great. I look amazing. I feel energized. Everything's great. Maybe that was you. Or maybe you were, there's some room for improvement here. There's some areas that I could work on. Or maybe you woke up this morning and you were really hard on yourself and you were like, man, something needs to change. Maybe it doesn't have to do with weight, or maybe it does. Maybe it has to do with how your skin looks, how tired you are. Maybe it's just an overall feeling of, being sluggish and just not feeling right. So on a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate your health right now? If you have a pen and a paper around, then great, write a number. If not, picture that number in your head. On a scale of 1 to 10, 10 obviously being ideal health, perfect energy, and 1 being, maybe not feeling so great in your clothes or, feeling tight in your clothes. And let me ask you this one question. If you could change anything about your health in the next 90 days, what would that be? As I said, maybe it has to do with how you fit in your clothes, dropping a few dress sizes. Maybe you feel sluggish right now. You'd like that to change. A lot of people are feeling absolutely exhausted when they get back from work. So that's an area for change. Brain fog, hard time focusing, an amazing amount of energy that people need to get out of bed in the morning. How would it be if every day in your life you would spring out of your bed with full of energy, ready to attack your day? That would be a good area to improve. A lot of people just snooze 19 times in the morning and just don't want to get out of bed. Maybe you want to do more physical activities, hobbies or sports or pastime. Maybe you want to walk into a room and just feel amazing and have your head held high and feel confident. So there's lots of different ways that, we can improve our health. And let me ask you this one last question. What is your normal? What is your normal that you're living every single day? How do you feel on a normal basis, on an everyday basis? And does it allow you to live your ideal life? It's crazy. And let me ask you this other question then. If you were to keep living that normal that you're currently in right now for another 5 years or 10 years or 20 years, what would that picture look like? How would you be 10, 20 years from now if you keep your normal? If you're always as tired or you're always as unfocused or you're just creeping up and you're keeping on putting on weight. If the answer is, no, I don't like that picture, well, we'll be talking about lots of different ways that Isagenix can help to change that picture. But before that, I just want to talk a little bit about the common problems that we uncovered in yesterday's call. But for a few of you that were not on yesterday's call, these are some very scary stats about the UK. Last year, there were 525,000 admissions in NHS hospitals where obesity was the recorded factor. That's a big issue. 63% of adults in England are overweight or obese. 63%. And it's growing. As for the children, 1 in 5 children in reception and 1 in 3, get this, 1 in 3 children in year 6 were measured as obese or overweight. That's a third of the kids that are overweight or obese. So what kind of world do we live in when not only the adults are overweight and obese, but we're raising our kids and instilling our bad habits into them, and then they're just repeating our mistakes. And in 2016, obesity cost the NHS over £6 billion. That's a lot of taxpayers' money. That's a lot of money that could be spent elsewhere. A couple of more stats. Last year, stress accounted for 37% of all work-related ill health cases and 45% of all work days lost due to ill health. Stress is absolutely huge, and it causes so much problems. And stress can be related through your personal life, your work life. There's so many different ways to be stressed. And I know, especially in London, just the traffic alone sends people over the edge with stress. Last statistic is the fatigue. Fatigue has been implicated in 20% of accidents on major roads. And it's said to have cost the UK between 115 to 240 million pounds per year in terms of work accidents alone. Again, that's a lot of money. And again, that's a lot of accidents. And that's a lot of injuries and even deaths, linked to fatigue, linked to a lack of energy. Luckily for us, Isagenix is a company that offers solutions to transform lives. And they offer weight management solutions, energy solutions, and performance solutions, which are all the problems that we already uncovered together. Isagenix's vision is to impact world health and free people from physical and financial pain. And that is what we wake up to do every single day. The scientific background of Isagenix is absolutely phenomenal. They have over 50 staff members that are working diligently every single day. So it's fully backed by science. And actually, they released 7 new clinical studies that are peer-reviewed to back the products and the system by science. So without further ado, let's see a couple of stories, a couple of before and afters from people in the UK. This is Mags Matthews from Glasgow, and she has lost 24 pounds and 24 inches gone forever. This is our great Kim Keeble from Suffolk. I hope I pronounced this okay. 52 pounds gone, 22 inches gone. That's 5 dress sizes that she has lost. Michael Billington from Belfast. Listen to this. This is our biggest story in the UK right now. 90 pounds lost, 28 inches gone, 7 inches from the chest alone, 14 inches plus from the waist. I mean, Michael will be the first person in the UK to have lost over 100 pounds. Check him out. Sarah Campbell from Ramsgate. Sarah has a different goal. She has put on 5 pounds of lean muscle, and Sarah was always, very active. She's a runner. She was consistently running 5Ks, but now she's going to do her first half marathon thanks to the increase of energy and performance with her Isagenix nutrition. Fiona Craig from Motherwell. She has 32 pounds lost, 42 inches gone. And she's a mother of 2 young kids, 13 and 16 months old. And she had tried everything before, and now she's finally found a solution that works for her. So basically, you know, it's convenient, it's affordable. This is whole food nutrition that also cleanses the body. And that's very important. We'll talk about that later. And basically, if you can afford to go to the pub, then you can afford to be on Isagenix. You can afford the plan. And basically, we have different packs that will fit your budget. Although I would strongly recommend that when you get started, based on your goals, obviously, if you could do 10 to 17 pounds per day, you know, for delivered to your door nutrition with a money back guarantee, then you can absolutely do this program. Let's talk about quality, and then I'll dive into a couple of products. John Anderson, who's the mastermind behind these products at Isagenix, has started this company under one principle, which was very, very simple. No compromise policy, which means, you know, he had developed so many different nutritional supplements and nutritional products for other companies, over 2,000 of them, 2,000 products that he developed. And every single time when he had a formula for what he believed, backed by science, was the best possible delivery for nutrition, every time he handed over the formula to XYZ company, they took the formula, they looked at it, and they said, "Thank you very much, John, but we're going to remove that ingredient because it's too expensive. We're going to cut this one in half because it's too expensive. We're going to remove this one completely because it takes too long to get it from the supplier." So the end result was never what John Anderson had originally designed. And John Anderson is a science nutritionist, and what he does is absolutely phenomenal. So he was so tired of that BS business world, he decided to start his own company, and that was the one principle: no compromise policy. If it's going to be 50 cents more per pound to buy this particular ingredient that I need for my recipe, that's the ingredient we're going to get. If we need to wait 2 months extra for that particular ingredient, that's what we're going to get. State-of-the-art facilities, fresh ingredients. I mean, the quality is really the best in the whole industry. Now let's talk about a couple of products here. The Isalean Shakes are absolutely phenomenal. Number one, this is not a protein shake. This is a full meal. So in a normal full balanced meal, you would have protein, you would have carbohydrates, you would have healthy fats, and you would have an array of vitamins and minerals. Well, guess what? This is what you're going to find in the Isalean Shake. Some protein, some carbohydrates, some healthy fats, and an array of vitamins and minerals. The protein is undernatured whey protein, which has been cold pressed, which is super important. Because when you heat up the protein, this is going to be slightly scientific, but when you heat up the protein, you lose the peptides and you lose the connection with the amino acids. Basically, what it means is that it's less absorbable by the body when it's not cold pressed, when it's not undernatured. And about 99% of any healthy nutritional supplement or protein shake or meal replacement out there that you could find at any store, they do not use undernatured whey protein. They use a process that is not cold pressed because that process is slightly more expensive for the company, and most companies are just after their profits. Isagenix number one rule is no compromise policy on the quality. And the source of the whey is actually from New Zealand happy cows, as we call them, because they're fed with herbs and not grass, and not grain, and they are not treated with antibiotics or growth hormones. So it's actually normal, healthy cows that are producing this undernatured whey protein. On top of that, there's no aspartame, there's no sucralose, it's gluten-free. And ask yourself, during my day, what's the 1 or 2 meals per day that is making me completely bananas that I don't have time to make, or that I don't have time to make completely. You know, a breakfast, a muffin and a cigarette is not a complete breakfast. There's no nutritional value. And a muffin is just a clever way to misguide people to eat a cake for breakfast. That's all it is, really. In my book, muffin is just a disguised cake. Nourish for Life. This one is the big one. That's the big differentiator from Isagenix than any other nutritional system that you could have tried before or heard about. Nourish for Life is what is helping your body's natural ability to remove the toxins, to cleanse, right? And the first time I heard about that, I was kind of scared about the word cleanse, because everything that I've heard about cleansing before was not too pleasant. And let me remind you, this is not a diuretic. This is not something that is meant to do a colon cleanse. This one is a nutritional cellular cleanse. So the whole idea is to actually help your body remove the toxins from your cells. And there's lots of amazing botanical ingredients in there, like B3, B6, and B12. But this is really the differentiator. And what Nourish for Life does, it nourishes your body. And when you use that, it's based on intermittent fasting. You will give your digestive system a rest. And then your body, fueled by Nourish for Life, will be able to remove your body's toxins in a much more efficient way. And actually, a lot of people on this line probably have done a diet before. And the problem is when you do a diet, you restrict your calories, you eat less, and you will lose some fat cells. But the amount of toxicity in your body stays the same. And your body freaks out and needs to have a higher fat cell count to protect your organs from those nasty toxins. So that's why what happens after a little bit when you're doing your diet, your body freaks out and brings it back to a level, and sometimes even more so. Sometimes you gain more weight than you lost on your so-called diet. This is what is not going to happen with Isagenix, thanks to Nourish for Life. Because as you drop in weight, your body will release the nasty toxins, and then you will reach an equilibrium. And then you can maintain your weight loss, maintain your results for the long term. And this is all backed by science, again, from our 7 clinical studies and that were published and peer-reviewed. I will skip over to one of my favorite products, which is Ionix Supreme. We call it the happy juice. This one has so many health benefits. It's fueled with adaptogens. And if you don't know what adaptogens are, do a Google search after this call. There's a lot of research done on adaptogens. It's a plant compound that helps plants grow on difficult scenarios, on mountains, really cold areas, really warm areas, and it helps the plant adapt to different scenarios. So you take it from the plant and you put it in the human body, and what it does is it helps the body's ability to cope with stress. Physical stress, like, you know, lifting weights type of thing, or emotional stress. There's different types of stress. So Ionix Supreme will balance your stress levels and also balance your energy levels. So someone that is lacking energy that takes Ionix Supreme will feel a boost in energy, and someone that's hyperactive all the time will take Ionix Supreme and it will calm them down. So that's an absolutely fantastic product. I drink that every single morning. You can drink it hot or cold. I drink it hot as a tea. And I know the UK is a nation of tea drinkers, so that's absolutely wonderful product, Ionix Supreme. Last but not least, and there are way more products than this, but I just want to highlight a few of them for you tonight. The E-Shot is your healthy energy shot solution. There are a lot of unhealthy energy solutions out there. I won't name them, but you all know them. Probably your kids are drinking them. Big cans loaded with sugar, loaded with caffeine. Now we have a small bottle, and I actually don't have one with me. Usually I take one before the call. It's a small bottle, And it not only boosts your energy, it's also packed with adaptogens. So remember, adaptogens, they help you cope with stress. So if you're someone that likes to run or likes to do a workout once in a while, that could be a very good pre-workout. And if you don't work out, that could help you focus. Some of you at work have a very difficult mental type of job where you need to focus for bursts of time before an earnings call if you're working in a publicly traded company or whatever it is, and you need to focus. The eShot will help you focus as well. So there's no artificial flavors in any of the products, no artificial coloring or anything. It's all natural ingredients. Now we have a program called Icy Body Challenge. And with the Icy Body Challenge, we believe that transformations are for everybody, no matter if it's for weight loss, for muscle mass, for energy, or just for maintaining. Because technically, maintaining your weight over long periods of time is the real goal that we're all after. We don't want to grow older and get worse and worse and worse. We want to get older and look younger type of thing, right? So with the Icy Body Challenge, we get people to do a 4-month transformation, so 16 weeks. And we have a few results here of our winners. And they get to receive a free t-shirt after the 16 weeks, just for saying, high five, congratulations. You took your health seriously for 16 weeks and you took your health to the next level, no matter what your results are. And also to reward people to complete the Icy Body Challenge, Isagenix gives them 150-pound product coupon that they can apply for any products of their liking. So this is literally 150 pounds worth of free food just for taking care of yourself, taking care of your health, which you should be doing anyways. Does that make sense to everyone? I don't know every grocery store in the UK, but if anybody else knows a grocery store where you shop at that grocery store for 4 months and then they give you 150 pounds worth of free food, please let me know, because I have never heard of any store like that. So we have someone that has absolutely fantastic results, and she is going to share her results with us. Let me just find her. Where is she? I'm going to stop sharing my screen so I can find her more easily. Oh, there she is. Okay. We have Kim Keeble from Suffolk, who you saw the transformation. You saw the pictures earlier. Kim, can you hear me?
I can, Eric, yeah.
Here you are. We can hear you perfectly. So Kim, would you be so kind to share with us, number one, fantastic job, great transformation. So please share with us why you decided to start with the Isagenix system and what has been your experience so far.
Okay, thanks, Eric. And thank you for inviting me on tonight to allow me to tell my story, really. Just a real quick bit of background about me. I'm a mum of 3. I'm a nurse by profession, although the last couple of years I've gone into education, into the university setting. So always been really busy, always had quite a tough job to do, but since our second child I've actually always been overweight as well. I've tried loads of different diets. I think I've probably tried most of them. I think there's only a handful I haven't actually tried, and I've kind of yo-yoed quite a lot. And as Eric, you were saying earlier, every time I'd stopped doing one or given up on one, I actually put on more weight than I was prior to starting. So over the last probably about 15 years, I've just got heavier and heavier and heavier. I've never had a problem with sleeping. In fact, I've always been overtired. People used to joke I could stand sleeping up, standing up even, which is quite funny, and I have been caught out a few times, so I've never had a problem with that. And I've always had a lot of ambition, but just never any drive, and that's really kind of affected me over the last few years especially. So this year, myself and my husband, who does Isagenix as well, decided we were going to get fit, and we were going to sort our finances out. And some good friend of ours, Andy and Danielle Nicol, introduced us to Isagenix, and we just took one look at the results people were having globally and thought, you know what, this is for us. So since starting Isagenix, as you've kind of already shared, I've lost 52 pounds so far. Then pictures are actually a month old, so I've lost even more weight now, but I've been a bit naughty really, because I haven't actually taken any of my measurements in the last month. So I know I've lost more because, like you said, I've dropped 5 dress sizes, which is brilliant. But I think, you know, that's all great and everything else, but I think the most important thing that we've all learned really about Isagenix and about what it's done for us is not only now have I got ambition, I've got the drive to go with it. I started running about a month ago, and I'm doing park runs at the weekend. I actually knocked a whole minute off my time last Sunday. As a family, we are, you know, educated so much better around food, so we have better relationships with our food. And for our youngest daughter, who is 9 in a couple of weeks' time, the statistics you were sharing about children of that age, you know, we don't want her to be a statistic. So hopefully, you know, we'll be leading her down the right path. What else can I tell you about it? I'm just so looking forward to what the future brings, really. We're really excited. We love sharing it with others as well, and we've been helping, you know, so many other people to get from it what they need, really. So yeah, that's us. Just so looking forward to where this is going to take us, really. So yeah.
Wow, amazing. You don't want her to be a statistic. That's huge. Let me ask you, Kim, which one is your favorite product?
Oh, it's really, do you know what? I'm really torn between the Ionix, because I absolutely love the kind of energy I get from it. But we also, in our house, we actually love the cleanse days as well. We thought it'd be really hard because I'm a real big foodie, probably hence why I was the size I was when I was before I started. But we actually love our cleanse days now, and I can easily do double cleanse days. And we help, you know, we do team cleanse days as well. So every time we get a new team member in who comes in, we just do it all together. So yeah, I'm a bit torn between the Nourish and the Ionix.
All right. Well, you said Ionix. That's one of my favorite. Thank you so much, Kim, for your lovely, lovely story. Let me share back this screen over here. Boom, boom, boom. Can you? Oh, there we go. All right, back on. Let me ask you this one more. You see that, right? Perfect. So let me ask you this next question. Are you ready to redefine your normal? You've heard it from Kim, and there's thousands and thousands of people in the UK who have already committed to change their normal, to change their story, and to change their bad habits that got them to where they are right now. And this is what we do. We help people get new, really, really good habits. So how do we get started? Very, very simple. We have different packs, as I said. What most people start with is the premium pack. And I call it the starter pack because that's what most people start with. And it includes a bunch of stuff. It includes so much meals, snacks, the Ionix, the Cleanse for Life, the e-shots. You have a free blender. You also have a 50-pound event coupon that you can apply for any of our events. And by the way, we have an event coming up in October that you do not want to miss. So that comes to $499 pounds. That's 17 pounds per day for food, for nutrition that you are going to eat. This is not a new coat. This is not a new pair of shoes. This is food that you're going to eat. So 17 pounds a day for 2 meals and a snack and a bunch of other supplements that are going to help you reduce your stress, help you reduce your hunger. Basically, you're going to spend less money on food that you're currently spending. And people don't realize, but we spend a ton of money on food. If you add up all the restaurants, all the stops at Starbucks where you get your frappe latte that's like 8 pounds. Every time you stop at the pub for a quick beer, that's 4 quid. Look at that. I use quid on a call. Amazing. I'm using the London and the UK versions of, I love it. So that's spending money on food and drinks, right? So we already spend a ton of money on that are getting us the problems that we have right now. So if we want a different result, we need a different system. And this is the best way that I know to get someone started, because it has everything. It has the bars as a snack. It has the little chocolates that you're going to get as a snack. Get this. We get to lose weight by eating chocolate. Isn't that lovely? So that's one really popular option that most people start with. Another option, and what people use for their second month, is if you have a weight management goal, the 30-day weight loss system. That is the strict minimum that you would need to be on the Isagenix system for 30 days. So we're talking about your meals, we're talking about a few snacks, your Ionix daily adaptogen drink that you could drink as a tea, and your Nourish for Life to help you cleanse out. That is 9 pounds per day. 9 pounds per day, you're already spending more than that on lots of things. So very, very affordable. And if you have an energy or a performance goal, we have a different 30-day system for you that comes to 10 pounds per day. Has a lot of the e-shots. The e-shot is part of my monthly order because I just love the way it makes me feel and makes me focus on the different things I need to do. So really, it's not complicated. You choose your pack, you order in moments, and then you start your journey. And soon you will be able, in a week or 2 weeks or so, you'll be able to wake up and imagine in a few weeks from now, looking at yourself in the mirror and feeling very, very differently than you felt this morning. Now, obviously, everybody's different, and Isagenix is not here to treat, diagnose any disease. So if you're on any medication or anything, go see your doctor before you jump on this program. But we know, and every health professional knows, that if you feed the body with the proper nutrition, the body is its own miracle. It will do the work and rebalance itself out. Now, with all of this to say, with the thousands and thousands of people that have decided to start their journey with Isagenix, we know that you know someone that could benefit from the Isagenix system, from a better nutrition, from an increase in energy, for maybe dropping their dress size, for a better focus, for more performance. The health and wellness industry is flying up like crazy because everybody wants to, live until they're 150 years old in perfect health and look like they're 60, right? That's the ultimate dream. Live forever and look super young and be totally healthy. So we know that you know people that could be helped by us, and Isagenix has chosen the business model of network marketing. Now, some people don't know anything about network marketing. Others think they know what network marketing is. There's a lot of misrepresentation and misunderstanding on the subject. So to explain that, we have none other than my good friend Darius Ward, who is an absolute rock star in the world of network marketing. And he will explain, number one, what network marketing is, how does it tie in to the health and wellness, and how does it tie in to Isagenix? How does it actually work? So Darius, can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear.
Okay, very good. So Darius, take it away.
Well, thank you very much, Eric. That was a very lovely introduction, and thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in. As much as I will stand at the front of an empty room and just talk away to myself for 10 minutes or so, it's always better to do it with a crowd and some company. So it's so lovely to see so many of you here this evening. So we could progress on to the next slide. Okay, so here we are then in the wonderful world of Isagenix, and this is not the first network marketing company that I've worked with, but I'm 99.9% certain that it will certainly be the last. And that's because of a number of different factors. So just to give you an idea, I've been involved in the industry for the last 5 years or so. So certainly not as long as some, but perhaps slightly longer than some others. And experienced some great success. I've generated a 6-figure income from network marketing. So it wasn't a decision that I took lightly by any stretch of the imagination at all. But here you can see written out some of the stats, some of the figures, the facts and figures on what Isagenix is, where it's up to, what it's all about, and I suppose more than that even is where it's going. So starting off, that it's been around for about 15 years cumulatively. There's more than $5 billion worth of sales. They actually achieved a new goal of nearly 1 billion in sales, one of only 6 network marketing direct sales companies to ever do that in the history of time, in the history of the industry. So quite the accolade indeed, a very serious player in the market. As Eric's already very expertly and proficiently explained, the products are world-class. They are leading, innovative, and not only that, improving with each season as they come along. And the products are the products in terms of the Isalean Shake, and obviously, you know, there's no point in reinventing the wheel, so they're perfect just as they are. However, new product innovations come out each season as well. So in other open territories that have been perhaps established a little longer than us, then there are seasonal products. So I believe that American associates have the pleasure and enjoyment of eggnog flavour shake, for example, at the run-up to Christmas, just to encourage people to join in with the seasonal nature of life. But even since we've opened in the short period of time here in the UK, back in mid-May just of this year, so only 3 or 4 months ago, then we've already had some of the performance products introduced, as well as the Isalean bars, which are a whole meal replacement in a bar. So if it wasn't convenient enough to simply take a packet of shake and a bottle of water along with you, no matter how busy and hectic your day may be, which we're all doing on a daily basis, of course, then we can make it even more convenient by simply packing a bar to take along, and that contains all the vitamins, minerals, macro and micronutrients to fulfill the body and see it thrive, rather than in the modern diet too often we see it just survive. Not only that, it's a multi-award winning company, and that's both in terms of the company as a whole, the leadership within it, the marketing, the ethics, the standards. It's not simply winning the same award 26 times over, or 36 in terms of the American Business Awards. It's for different areas. So right across the gambit of all the different functions, supply chain, marketing, leadership, training, people development, all those kind of things, awards being won in a number of different sectors. And then not only that, Isagenix chose to associate, or what's a better word, partner itself, if you will, with the Make-A-Wish Foundation. Now, that's something that I certainly was very aware of, perhaps going back about 5 or 10 years ago, where they did such amazing things, and it can vary in magnitude depending on what the wish of the very poorly child might be. So just to give a couple of examples, it may be that they wish to possess an iPad, just like a lot of children do, or a tablet, in which case Make-A-Wish can facilitate that and make that dream come true. However, one of my favourite stories that I saw on a recent trip, my second time, very fortunately, to the world headquarters, as you can see pictured on the image there, was how a young child who unfortunately was suffering with a terminal illness, but nonetheless, before very sadly he was due to pass away, his number one favourite dream and life fulfilment was to become an airplane driver, which was very sweet, of course, and not only is that a very great thing for him to want, but also was very great indeed that Make-A-Wish, in part due to the contributions made by Isagenix and the associates and customers contained within, we're able to make that and many other dreams come true. Next slide. Okay, so as with all things, Eric's already done a great job of explaining about John Anderson, Mr. Mineral, saying about the 2,300 nutritional and health-related products that he's developed. And Eric, even with English being his second language, I'm sure you're already gathering, is much more eloquent than I, so I'm not going to even attempt to replicate that, other than to say he truly is a bastion of the health and nutrition industry. If you have taken a diet supplement, a health and a nutritional product, there is an exceptional, very good chance, to say the least, that it will actually have been Jim Coover who will have originally formulated that, but unfortunately between his notepad and the final product, and then ended up on that supermarket or retail centre shelf will have been interfered with, to put it politely, and not been. So he very much made that product, shared it with friends and family, had great results on that personal level, and then entered, at that point, Jim and Kathy Coover. Now, Kathy Coover has actually risen to the top, as it says here in the slides, in 3 separate network marketing companies, starting from base point 0 on 3 occasions and building up to be the top earner on 3 separate occasions. Started off as a dental technician, no network marketing, no business experience prior to her first opportunity, and has generated that multi-million dollar income as a result of it, and then actually happily retired with a young son who you can actually see, not quite as young, although still very handsome, young and fruitful. At the bottom, just had his first child at, is he about 32 years old, in his early 30s anyway, and taking it that bit easy. Jim Coover, on the other hand, is just as excellent, in as much as he had a very illustrious career within the network marketing and direct sales industry, and rose to the very highest degree, working at the CEO, the boss of all the bosses kind of level, setting in place the pay plans, working out the logistics, the supply chain, all the different things. So by dovetailing those 2 skill sets, this is John Anderson's real stroke of genius, was the perfect product with the perfect couple who, between them, both from the field perspective and from the corporate perspective, had it sewn up. And it really is a business marriage made in heaven. And then that's only further strengthened now with the addition over the last several years of their son and heir, Eric Coover, who has taken over the role of global field development. Not only that, is the creator founder of the START movement. So one of the things that Eric noticed is that when he attended the meetings, just getting started, having built a business within the field in the first instance after college, or whilst at college, I believe it was, he noticed that it was perhaps a slightly aging population that tended to be involved and come along to the meetings. And so he's done something about that, founded the START movement, which is particularly aimed at the 18 to 35 age bracket. Boys and girls, of course, both welcome alike. And even to the point where now they do or take part in charitable actions. They do giving back, even at the recent event in Las Vegas, Nevada, just happened last month. Then they all got together, put together food parcels at a food bank service, and fed several thousand people with that collaborative effort, really much in the ethos of network marketing, along the lines of, it's not about a few people doing a great deal, but rather a multitude of people all doing that little bit to make the big difference overall. Progressing on. Okay, so Isagenix is really a very wonderful company, and as I've already said, for a number of reasons, but a further reason is the fact that it has been around for 15 years. It's gone into 12 markets. The UK opening in mid-May was the 13th. And we are now set to go and expand right across mainland Europe, and then no doubt further beyond that. So this really is one of those opportunities, whilst we've achieved fantastic results, both in terms of personal transformations, health-wise, we're also now working and continuing to work on the wealth transformations as well. And if ever there was a place that was poised on the point of victory, then right here in the United Kingdom, across mainland Europe into the Republic of Ireland too, is really where it's at. We really have, like I say, achieved great things already, but there is so very much more to come. Moving on. Okay, so just like Eric posed the question before about a scale of 1 to 10 with your health situation, then either writing on your notepad, like Eric said before, or picturing the number clearly in your mind. In terms of your financial situation, on a scale of 10, what number would you give yourself right now? A fair enough question. It may be that actually you're working full-time, you're earning a good salary, you pay the mortgage, everything's great, no credit card debt, a couple of holidays a year, and everything's really wonderful. Well, that's great. But it could be that maybe you want to pay the mortgage off 10 years or 5 or 10 years earlier. It may be that there's just too much time at the end of the money, too much month at the end of the money. And it may be that for the first 2 weeks of your monthly salary, you live like a king. I certainly know this is how I used to live my life. And then for those final 2 weeks, certainly in the last few days, then every single penny counts, and you're having to maybe put a few extra expenses, unexpected car repairs, or a larger gas or electricity bill, something like that. And it'd just be nice to create a bridge to that gap. Or it may be that perhaps you're in quite a financially tough situation, and an extra £3, £4, £5, or even more £100 per month could really make all the difference. It could literally, as I have seen in the industry before, make the difference between eating or even keeping the light switched on or the electric heater on at night time. So everyone's going to be in a different position, but I guess the point of this question is not only to enable you to take stock, to evaluate where you are, and then we can see about where we can take you to, but also to create an appreciation, for lack of a better word, it's an opportunity for anyone and pretty much for everyone that can provide that financial improvement in their situation. Let's move on. You froze up, Eric. Can we move on? I think you just froze up slightly.
It's my muted button. Am I unfrozen now?
Yes, that's right.
Very good. Well, that's absolutely fantastic. And I think we have someone on the line that has a story to share with us. So let me unshare my screen and find Rose. There she is, Rosalie. Rosalie, can you speak to see if your mic works? There.
It's working, Rosie.
There you are. Perfect.
Hi, everyone.
Rosalie. So Rosalie has had some time with us now with Isagenix, and she's decided to not only use the products for her, personal well-being and health and transformation, but she also realized and grasped the opportunity to share Isagenix with a few people, and has achieved great things. So please, Rosalie, share with us your story.
Hi, good evening, everybody. Can you hear me okay? Because
perfectly.
Technically, something's gone quiet at my end, but I'm on full volume, so I hope you can hear me okay. Well, thank you, Eric and Darius, for asking me to just share a little bit about my story. I was just looking, I started off life with a nursing career, so health and wellness of everybody else has always been on my agenda, but not so much for myself. And then I moved into direct sales in order to be able to be sort of a stay-at-home mum and work from home, to be around my 3 daughters. Fast forwarding that a few years, I was working recently for the last 4 years in an organic skincare company, enjoying everything about it, and had about 1,000 team members. But I discovered Isagenix in the pre-launch area of November 16, and doing a bit of research and attending a lot of events in pre-launch. I went to Birmingham, I went to Heathrow a couple of times, I went to Bournemouth, I went to Twickenham where I saw Eric Coover, and I spoke to a lot of people that were in the industry. And what I really liked was the fact that they were some people that became millionaires from an age group of around my own, which is of more interesting years, let us say. So I was really excited, because for me, I needed to still get to a better place financially. So having accumulated a lot of the information from around these events, I decided that Isagenix is going to be huge in the UK and Europe, with or without me. And I just could not accept the fact that this would probably be the only time in my lifetime that I would get the opportunity to be part of such a big venture in the UK. So I decided that I would resign from my position, and I joined Isagenix on the 15th of May. With some hard work and determination, I rose through the ranks to Crystal Executive and became a 1-star Crystal Executive, because I also had someone join me that did the same. So that was really fantastic. And I have a team of just under 200 people now. And going through all the processes, enjoying learning all the time. Hot tip, anybody that's on the call tonight, get on the podcast. Can't stop listening to the podcasts. I go to the gym now, I listen to the podcast. It's just nuggets and nuggets and nuggets of lovely information that helps build your mind, build your confidence in meeting new people, and minutes of journeying in the car, podcast, and it all brings forth lots and lots of lovely information. And the journey goes on, and every day, almost every day, I'm meeting someone new, and around me, I'm just surrounded by people that I can see a reason for the product to help them with their health. And when I help them with their health, for me by choice, it helps me with my wealth goals. So it's a win-win situation, and I'm really enjoying everything I do. And, today I discovered that I'm sitting in the top 10 position for a fabulous trip to Iceland, which I'm really, really excited about. So my team and I, or my ISA Rally team, we're digging down now. I had 2 new people join today, which was a wonderful afternoon for me to share the products again with another couple of ladies. And every day is just packed with great positive aspects of, people joining, looking out for themselves and helping them achieve what they want to achieve. So if anybody's on the call, or they've got people that they're talking to, get people involved, because everything is such a positive outcome, and I couldn't be happier. So that's my story, really, and I'm looking forward to many, many more happy years, and I will be one of the Isagenix millionaires. And for me, I'm looking at 5 years, but if it takes me a bit longer, I think that's a pretty good bet, and I think I'm in the right place. So share, that's all I could say. Can you hear me?
That was great, Rosalie. Thank you very much for sharing that. Always wonderful to hear a couple of pearls of wisdom from someone so well experienced, not only to have spotted the trend of where we're going, but also to, as well as be talking the talk, to be walking the walk along the way too. So I'm now looking at a blank screen, which doesn't help me a great deal. Bear with, a few technical issues. Can you click a bit more, maybe? Ah, there we go. She's showing off with your fancy animations, Eric. Thank you very much. So, yeah. So we've covered so far about some of the wonderful products which obviously combine to work in these systems or packs to greater effect, to get that synergistic effect, not only for weight loss, weight gain, maintenance, for health, energy, stamina, removal of fatigue, of the brain fog that can plague so many. And then also about the number of different packs and how they come along. We've also heard a couple of testimonials, a little proof of the pudding, if you will, in terms of people that have really enjoyed using the products to achieve their particular health goal. So in terms of the business then, if we just focus to that, the business end, if you will, of the proposition, of the opportunity, then how exactly is it that we go about creating a business? So it's really very simple at its core, and we have... I'm not finished yet. He's rushing me on. This often happens. I'm just waiting for the shepherd's hook to come on and pull me off. So it's really simple. So it actually comes down to a very handy little phrase, which is very easy to remember, which is that you share, they share, and then repeat. So first and foremost, before we get involved in that, of course, then we need to try the products for ourselves. So whether you want to get started, whether it's just about improving your self-sense of well-being and vitality, perhaps you want to release a few pounds in a health, safety, safe and sustainable way. Or perhaps you might want to, like Sarah, who shared her pictures before and afters before, it may be that you want to increase on the lean muscle mass. But whatever it is, then whilst the goal may differ, the process is the same, which is you purchase your pack, you start to consume the products, feel great, and that will create a natural enthusiasm and passion for the product. Because just like if you go to the cinema at the weekend, just like many of us do, you see a really great movie. It may be that there's a new restaurant in town. You can intrepidly go and try and, check it out, see what it's all about. And you have a wonderful meal and the service is sublime and the prices are very reasonable, whatever it might be. And then you would share that with friends. Well, in much the same way here, then, by consuming the products, by feeling the difference that they make to you, by releasing those pounds, your clothes fitting better, or by putting extra kilometers on your runs at the evening, or doing extra bench presses down the gym and getting all body beautiful and buff and all that kind of thing, whatever it might be, then you're going to be sharing that. And then not only that, through that process, whilst you're just genuinely sharing your passion, your increasing belief in the products and the difference they've made to you, and that will enable you to identify potential business partners as well as, of course, customers along the way too. So anyone who you share the information with, of course, we've got this tried and tested system. Not only did we have the fantastic call with Raven yesterday, there's Eric and I doing our piece this evening, sharing more about the products and the opportunity. And then tomorrow we're going to cover more about how to actually get started, should you wish to buy your pack, get started and get those first vital skills, the first vital tools in your belt. So we have this tried and tested, this proven system. So we could progress on now, Eric, please. So how does that work? As I've already said, you have to get started and consume some of the products yourself, and you would then go through the you share, they share, repeat process. And it never gets more complicated than that. So it may be that you've had some prior network marketing experience. It may be that you're a complete novice and you're just taking a look at an opportunity of this nature for the very first time. Well, what's really reassuring, should I say, about the Isagenix pay plan, the way that we accumulate income from it, is that it never gets more complicated. As you can see on the screen here, I'm very used to doing this. I'm pointing at my knuckles and my fingernails. I'm much more of a fly by the seat of my pants kind of guy rather than a very lovely professional organised presentation, such as Eric has prepared very kindly for us tonight. So as you can see, you've got the two friends, the lady and the gentleman there. You share the products with them. They see that you've dropped some weight, that your skin is glowing, that you can think faster, that you're not falling asleep on your feet, as Kim was telling us just before, and that you just generally are experiencing an improvement in some form. Maybe you just managed to do 15, 20 minutes slogging along on the treadmill. You go with a couple of pals, or there's some sort of gym buddies that you just see down there, and they notice that you're going for half an hour and, barely or comparatively breaking a sweat over a period of time, whatever it might be. And they say, well, quite naturally, oh, wow, you're doing really great. What's your secret? What's the difference? Oh, well, just got started on these wonderful products. Perhaps it's something you might like to take a look at. Introduce them to one of the calls, such as last night, tonight, or tomorrow, and then they decide to get started too. So that's wonderful. And then not only that, they would then reciprocate that process, not necessarily all and every time. Some people will just enjoy being a customer. That's absolutely fine. They're cherished and valued every ounce as much as any other person is. However, some naturally will go on to introduce some other people, and that creates the duplication in your process, which creates volume and takes you on from there. So all these lovely faces are now in the way of my screen, although in fact I'm not missing anything. So what's on the next screen, Eric? Okay, so by doing so, there's a number of different ways to derive an income from it. So first and foremost, when you introduce those two people, one to the left and one to the right of your business, that's all you ever have to do, build left, right, left, right, left, right, as many times as you might like, whether that's one, whether it's two, whether it's 500 million. It's all absolutely fine, as much or as little as you might like. But in doing so, each time you introduce a person, then almost like as a customer loyalty bonus, so this is for customers as well as associates, you can either receive a discount off your next order. So they say there's no such thing as a free lunch. Well, with Isagenix, there absolutely is. But also, it may be that you wish to develop an income, in which case they can pay you cold hard cash, and that's very wonderful, paid weekly as well. So a weekly little bonus, or in fact a serious residual or secondary income. In addition to that, Sorry, yeah. So well, I'll not run through it, but you can see there that with the starter pack, there's a £66 payment amount payable to you, the 30 light system, the everyday systems, and the other packs along that. So whatever the pack might be that because remember, it makes sense to introduce people to packs to help them achieve and work towards their particular health goal. Let's move on. Okay, so let's say that we do this a number of times. Then a new or additional element of income can be derived. So every time, in short, in rough figures, £1,000 worth of orders are placed, some down the left-hand side of your business, some down the right-hand side of your business, then payments become durable. These are called cycle bonuses. These are calculated on a daily basis. And in a lot of other pay plans, it can become quite complicated, that it's got to be balanced a certain way, that you have to nominate a certain leg, a bit like picking a pocket when you're playing pool, and you can inevitably, it's going to end up going in another pocket on a weird angle. Well, there's none of that sort of trickery or pokery. Very simply, when that volume is created, and one of those legs, either it can be either or, it doesn't matter, accumulates around that 600 BV mark, 300 on the other side, and collectively that creates that cycle bonus. Now, the thing to remember is that in the binary structure is that, yes, you are building your business. You will be accountable, responsible. If you want to generate the income from it, then absolutely that's going to be down to you. Now, the great thing is that Isagenix is that, yes, you will be in business for yourself, but you'll never be in business by yourself. You'll never be alone. So there's expert coaching, mentoring from people with 20, 30 years, 5 years on my small part, and many things in between. We have really great coaching on nutrition, on sports, on science, as well as on the business end, on sales and talking to other people, generating referrals, so on and so forth. A full suite of information is available. So there we have the cycle bonuses. Let's move on to the next. Okay, so what's really wonderful is that with the combination of all the different bonuses, it's not on this slide, but just to cover it quickly, is that if you do exactly like Rosalie did, as she mentioned before, achieve what they call crystal executive position, which is to help 5 people get started down the left, 5 people to get started down the right of your business, and help them to introduce 1 person into each side of their business too, then that accumulates one-off bonuses of more than £3,500. In addition to that, then actually with the business, with the Isagenix pay plan, should I say, then you can generate up to 250 cycles per week. Now, as you can see there, that equates to more than £11,000 in income, cleared income, each and every week. In addition to that, by helping other people get started and helping them build their business too, then you can earn an additional more than £11,000 a week. So in total, more than £22,000 each and every week of the year. Now, please don't let me mislead you at any point. It's not a case of get started with the starter pack, consume a few products, talk to your auntie and your best friend, and you're going to be earning all of a sudden £22,000. Wouldn't that be lovely? And please, please, if anyone finds anything like that, do let me know, because I'll be the first to join you. However, back here in real life, just for a moment, that's sadly never going to be the case. So over a period of time with a consistent and applied effort, you can build that business. The shortest amount of time someone has built to that exact level, and perhaps perhaps a little more besides, is 9 months, which is not typical by any stretch of the imagination. The average is somewhere between 3 and 5 years. But one of the things that really attracted me to Isagenix in the first instance, when I was checking it out as a potential partner, was that of the millionaires, of the people who have accumulated 7 figures of income over a period of time from getting started to when they achieve it, which again varies between 9 months and 3 to 5 years, then more than 75%, more than 3/4 of those people had no prior network marketing experience whatsoever. So it's not that they developed a large team or business elsewhere and then brought it over. It's not that they had really massive and established connections and networks of people. It's not that they were a really huge business leader and had thousands of people under their command and control. It was nothing social. I think, you know, it was housewives. It was dental technicians like Kathy when she first got started. It was people who worked in executive professions. It was solicitors, accountants. In fact, the number one earner in the company is a guy called Jimmy the Butcher Smith, which sounds very ominous and very dodgy. Certainly in the UK, that wouldn't lead to any good thoughts. But the reason is very simply is because for 40 years plus, I think I'm right in saying, he was a butcher, but then retired in his 70s and is now the person that has accumulated the greatest wealth from the Isagenix business by sharing with a few friends who went on to share with a few friends who went on to share with a few friends until his business has experienced phenomenal growth over the last 13, 14 years and has now earned a multi-million dollar income from that. Very wonderful indeed. Let's progress. Okay, so as I've already touched upon, you know, you are in business for yourself. It's your business. There's no boss. There's no one telling you what to do, what time you have to start or finish, the minimum number of hours. There's no contract to fulfill in terms of working conditions and hours and all that kind of thing. However, there is a great deal of support because you are in business for yourself, but not by yourself. So to give you an example, when you get started and you buy that all-important starter pack, then what's included in that is your own personalized business website, a fully featured functioning website which offers the functionality of being an online catalog, as well as somewhere people can place orders, they can join your business, they can check out the latest information, the latest peer review studies, so on and so forth. You're provided with marketing materials to not only read for yourself and consume, but also to share with friends and family. There are constantly innovating new products. As I've said, we've had 4 new products introduced into the UK. There's many more to come besides. Excellent product and business training, whether that be the weekly Zooms, whether it be the meetings that corporate, the Isagenix head office provide in terms of road shows right across the country regionally, as well as millionaire speakers. Now, the tickets go for anything from sort of £5 right the way up to £45, £50, depending on the scale of the venue, the length of the training, etc. But even with that in mind, of course, you get your £50 token or voucher, which comes with the starter pack. And not only that, to pay for that kind of training, to access that kind of guidance, that support and that knowledge could easily run into £300 to £3,000 for a weekend ticket to see similar speakers elsewhere. So it's really phenomenal. It really, truly is. And then I'll just move the smiling faces to one side so I can read the other side of the screen, which is ukisagenixbusiness.com. So that's a really wonderful resource that's available. It's UK-specific content, videos, information, papers, PDFs, all the different marketing materials in an electronic form that we may wish to share with people, not only for your own benefit, your own development, your own learning, but also to share with other people. Being a bang up to date in terms of technology company, they have a number of apps. IsaPulse is just one of them, which at the tap of a button enables you to see exactly where your business is up to, how much volume has been generated. And what I personally really love about it is the notifications that you receive, which let you know who's achieved a milestone for the first time. So like, for example, someone might have just introduced their first customer. It's really great to have that information alerted of it so you can reach out to them and say, you know, great job on that, and give a pat on the back. Of course, everyone likes to be recognized for doing a good job. And then also there's educational programs. So not only do we have Icy Body, in the forthcoming future, we're going to have the Mind and Body, what's it called? Mind and, help me out, Eric.
Healthy Mind and Body.
Healthy Mind and Body. So that's yet to come. So that's a really great educational program, as well as the training that goes along with that. So let's move on. So one of the things that we haven't covered, but another really big tick in the box for me, was just the level of commitment. So there are many other companies, not to criticize or to point any fingers at all, but there are many companies, network marketing and otherwise, that say they have now launched into 87 countries. And it's like, wow, that's a really big and impressive figure, until you realize that actually all they've done is change the currency symbol on the website from $1 to £1, or from a yen to £1, or from a euro to £1, or whatever it might be. And then all the product is still being shipped over from another country. There's no presence in that country. There's no official logistic channels, no regulatory issues, etc., etc. Now, that was really, as far as I could see, up until coming across Isagenix, was just the way the business worked. However, I was proven very wrong indeed with Isagenix when I discovered that not only had they opened a distribution centre in the Netherlands to service the UK as well as mainland Europe moving forward, and signed a 20-year deal, they'd also signed a lease, a 10-year lease, on a 10,000 square foot 4-storey office, which you can see here on the slide. And not only that, employed more than 32 staff before a single packet of product had even been sold. So the level of commitment is phenomenal. And that's a model that they followed across all 13 territories. So there is not a country that Isagenix has opened for business in that doesn't have a headquarters staff, both in terms of customer support, logistics, troubleshooting, marketing, strategy, management, training, event production, all these facilities, which leaves us free to do the job at hand, which is to very simply share our wonderful products and our great story that we've developed over a 28-day or greater period of time, and to plug people into these phenomenal things. So as you can see, all the smiling faces down at the temporary head office that was at the bottom there, and then in the new head office on the left-hand side at Watchmakers Court in Farringdon, London. Okay, so then we're drawing to a close now with this lovely smiling family, leaving you feel all warm and gooey, I hope, inside. And as you can see, it's an often used saying, but holds so very true, is that a person that I like to consider a mentor and a guide to myself, and no doubt many others besides, Sir Richard Branson of, or is he called Sir Richard Branson of Necker Island these days, wherever he is. But nonetheless, he coined the phrase that if someone were to offer you an amazing opportunity, but you're not entirely sure how you might go about it, then say yes and learn how to do it later. So what are the next steps then? So first and foremost then, we hope you've enjoyed the presentation we've provided for you this evening. Eric's done, of course, an incredible job as ever, and I've done my utmost to keep you entertained and informed for the last several minutes. So it would be really wonderful then if you had any questions, any particular queries, any specific issues, something you're not perhaps certain of, something we may not have covered tonight, or Raven may not have covered yesterday evening either. Get back to the person. They're there to help you, to provide you with any information, send you some more literature, should that be what you want, a link to a video or a PDF, whatever it might be, and get those questions answered. Once you've done that and you're satisfied, then remembering that we have, of course, this total quality assurance, so much so that there's a 28-day send the products, empty product packets back, but still receive your full money. So you can go ahead on a no-risk basis and choose your pack, wait for that to turn up, 2 to 3 days delivery, get consuming those products, start to feel the wonderful benefits of energy and a removal of the lethargy, the weight loss, the weight gain, whatever it may be. And then not only that, you've then got your questions answered, you're waiting for your pack to turn up, and rather than delay any further, we actually have a fast start trading, which is going to take place at 8 p.m. tomorrow night. It's going to be the very wonderful leader, Raven, who's going to be leading that. Perhaps I might make a small contribution, make of that what you will. But we don't publish this information. Obviously, it's for people that are choosing to get started. But that link, that information is going to be available to you should you wish to get started. And then not only that, to keep abreast of all the current issues, just to have a wider review of the information that's out there, then please do check out isefyi.com UK.com/international. Another way to access that information is uk.isafyi.com. And that will take you and will show a number of pieces of information in terms of product development, new incentives and rewards, recognition for those that are doing great. So like Rosalie said, she's ranking in the top 10 positions for ISA Rally Iceland, and so much more information besides. So more information is available there. And other than that, if we progress to the final slide, I would like to wish a very hearty and sincere thank you very much indeed to everyone for tuning in this evening. We hope you found it useful. I see that the numbers have been growing and growing and growing whilst we've been talking, so we're obviously not boring too many people, which is always a great sign. It wouldn't do whatsoever to depart without thanking sincerely and generously Mr. Eric Laquerre for doing such a bang-up job, not only preparing the presentation this evening, coordinating it, helping everyone as he does as we go along. So thank you so very much, Eric, for such a bang-up and wonderful job as ever. No fear, no doubt. And of course, we have our wonderful contributors in the form of Rosalie, for sharing her sharing her story about how she has got started and the difference that it has made to her particular life so far. Obviously, so much more to achieve moving forward, as well as Lynn for sharing her story in terms of her weight loss journey so far and the impact that the products and the systems have made to her life so far. Would you have any final words, Eric?
Nope, that's it. Thank you very much. And I can't wait to hear all of your stories that will be in the next 30 days, 60 days, 16 weeks, your Icy Body challenge stories, your more energy. And go ahead and contact the person that brought you on this call tonight and make sure they know what your goals are. They will put you on the right system and they will get you started the right way. And if you're interested in sharing this wonderful system with anyone else, then ask for the link for tomorrow's Fast Start training. This will be open for people who are actually getting started. So if you're thinking about it, make sure that you get your questions answered. And that's it. So can't wait to see your results, everyone. Have a fantastic evening. Thank you.